Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to Beyond the Front Door podcast with Lindy and Ria. We are so glad to have everyone back as we took the month of June off for the most part. And we're super excited to have Chris Edwards with Legacy Lending Group. So thank you so
Hi.
much for joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me. This is an
Yeah,
awesome opportunity. I really appreciate it.
of course. So, Lindy, I'm not sure if I told you this, but someone, I think it was your wife, right, that made a
Yeah, that
recommendation when we put the call out on Facebook. What
Yeah.
is her name again?
Marina.
Shout out to Marina. We love suggestions and we want more of them. But anyway, so when I started looking him up, the page I found had people from Gillette on it. So I was like, is this because we do have followers on the page because both Lindy and I are from Gillette.
Yeah.
So we have followers on there. So I thought maybe this was a Gillette
Yeah.
situation. And then no, he lives here and is doing this here, but his mom is in Gillette. And so anyway, there was a connection there that took me a minute to figure out as I was talking to him at first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I grew up in Gillette,
okay.
and then I've been here since 2003. So
Okay.
my sophomore year in high school, I moved here. So I went to high school in Cheyenne and then have stayed here ever since.
Got it. Very nice.
So yeah, it was a strange age to break away from Gillette where it's like, well, you know, lots of people, like I knew a lot of people in elementary school, but that's a really
Sure.
small group of people that you know.
Right. So you went to junior high there
Yeah.
still, and
Yeah.
then you
Still
moved like
junior
your
high.
sophomore year.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Gotcha. That's probably a good clean break though at that point
It
as well,
was.
since back then, I don't know if it's still this way now, where I think they have they moved the ninth graders up to the high school up there? I'm trying to think.
Up there, I
I'm not
believe they have,
so
because they have the two schools now
now. Yeah.
and they're all separated.
Yep. They are all separated now. No longer North Campus and South
In South
Campus.
Campus, yeah. My brother went back and moved back when they were doing that, and when they were doing the split days. So when he was in high school, half of
Oh,
his day would be at North, and then half of his
yes.
day would be
Same.
at
That's how
South.
I was. I want to say my senior year was when that second campus opened.
As South.
Yeah,
Yeah, the South Campus.
Yeah. And so then did you have to drive between the
Yeah, I
schools
don't think I
then?
had that many classes over there. It was
yeah,
a very long time ago.
yeah.
It was.
It's hard to remember.
It's been a few years.
Well, and then
It feels like not that long ago, but then so long
kind of long
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then my sons, one graduated from Campbell County High School, and then the other one they're 11 months apart. So they were graduating 1 year after the other. And so one graduated from Campbell County High School, but then the split happened. And then the other one graduated from
From South.
Thunder Basin. South, yeah,
That's cool.
essentially. So anyway, a lot of changes up there and a lot of I know it was some discontent at first
Yeah,
about all that, but I think it has leveled itself out now.
yeah.
So
As time does, right?
yeah,
It's
time
a
heals all
little time.
things.
Yeah.
Well, we've gotten a little bit of your history, but if you tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've lived in Wyoming, what's been your careers over the years, a little bit about your family, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, I've been here, like I kind of said, my whole life. Since I was 3 years old, lived in Gillette,
Mm-hmm.
and then have been in Cheyenne since I was 16. And really, I went right into electrical trade. I
Oh,
went straight from, I bagged groceries at King Supers for one summer, and then my dad was like, come work with me as an electrician. So I started while I was in high school and worked my way through journeyman and ended up doing project management on a lot of the large construction jobs we have here.
wow.
And then just kind of found myself in like the middle of the middle and was looking for something a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit different and a little more control in my life.
yeah.
And, and the mortgage industry has always kind of been around. My mom's been a mortgage lender
Mm-hmm.
for 30 years. So
Yep.
growing up, it was all these terms and things that, once I got into it, really just clicked and made a whole lot of sense. And it's been a lot of fun to kind of get out and see a new thing in the world.
I always think it's interesting how us as kids sort of gravitate towards the careers our parents have or some variation of
Yeah.
it, right? Like, I think we all do that
I
to an
know it
extent.
is. It's really common.
And I wonder if it's nature versus nurture.
Mhm.
If is it just genetically part of you that you have the same sort of skill sets and then acquire the same kind of career? Or is it because you grew up hearing about it all the time and it just becomes natural to you and you can slide right in? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question because it has to be a little mixture
Mixture
of
of
both,
both.
right?
Yeah.
There's because you take from what you see, you learn
Yep.
from what you see, and if you see somebody successful, I mean, it's kind of like the friends what we tell our kids, right?
Yep.
If you have a group of 4 people, if that's your friends, you're going to be the 5th person in that group.
Right.
So be careful who you surround yourself with.
It is a
what
really
you learn
good
from.
testament to that for sure.
Yeah,
But what a great skill set also to have to learn how to be an electrician, because that's
Yeah.
just something you can fall back on forever.
Yeah,
If
and-
anything goes south, you can go back to
yeah,
that.
I can always go back to that. And
Yeah.
I get a lot of weird looks that it's like, especially right now in the world we're living in the electrical industry where they're making so much money and all these big AI jobs. And
Sure.
it's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just trying something else. I'm trying something
Yeah.
new.
Quality of life
Yeah.
is
yeah,
important.
It
and
is.
work-life balance and all those things.
Yeah.
So
And that's where and that was kind of a big part of our change is my wife, Marina, who got me on here. She's actually finishing up in August. She'll have her nurse practitioner's license. So
Oh.
she'll be doing family practice here in town. So it just kind of, I needed a little more freedom as opposed to 60-hour construction weeks because we have 3 little ones. And it's kind of we have to figure out a way to be flexible. And
yeah, you got to be able to
Yep.
work together and try to minimize, out of home care
Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah, because we've gotten really lucky. She spent the last, I'd say 6 years doing at-home nursing. So she's a nurse right now with her RN, but she does pacemaker and defibrillators all online. So she's all remote
Wow.
able. And
didn't even know
she
that was a
got
thing.
remote, right before COVID happened. So it was kind of before
Wow.
everybody started. And then it was like, okay, this is great.
I was just thinking the other day about when the pandemic first happened. And I remember the first couple of weeks kind of being like, oh, this is kind of nice, just to have the break and nobody could go anywhere.
Nobody can do anything.
Anything.
Yeah. It
There's
wasn't
no
just
guilt
you.
if you don't. Yeah.
Mhm.
That changed though pretty quickly here in Wyoming, but
Yeah, we opened up real nicely, but even the roads were pretty nice. It was nice in the mornings when
Nobody was out.
nobody
driving.
was driving. Nobody, when the essential workers were the only ones out in the morning
yes.
for that couple weeks.
We sure are lucky, and I don't want to detract from what we're here to talk about, but I do feel so lucky we live in Wyoming during that time.
Yeah.
We had the freedom to get outside and go do.
And the space too.
And the space too. Yes.
Yeah. I had little, my kids were really little at the time. They were born in 18 and 17. So we
Okay.
were right at that age where you got to get them out of the house, and we were in lockdown mode. And like you said, we were lucky here. There's a lot of parks. We went and utilized a lot of the school playgrounds.
Yep.
It's like, oh, we're going to hit a new park today, new school, different school on a different side of town.
That makes me think we should try to have someone on here sometime that moved to Wyoming
During the pandemic.
during the pandemic or right after it because of it. Because we saw it in real estate where
Mhm.
people then were trying to move here because of things like
Yeah,
that. Where
to get that.
well, then I want to be around away from people where I can still have some kind of freedom. But we should see if
Mhm.
somebody.
I know we had somebody on that lived in California and was in actual lockdown for like 2 or 3 years, wasn't it? Like it was a
Yeah,
long
there
time.
was
I don't remember who that was,
Yeah.
but I remember her saying like they did not
Yeah,
leave their
it'd be
house, and
interesting.
like the
So I
police
want to
were
hear someone
patrolling
who
it.
came here during COVID
COVID.
and stayed, and someone who came during COVID and then now is like,
Yeah. This is not what I signed
There's
up
also
for.
those people too.
I still don't understand the wind thing.
They're just like, it's too windy. I can't do this. Okay, bye.
You know what? I'll take the wind over big flying bugs
Every day.
every single day, or like I was reading a thing recently about just the rats and cockroaches like in New York City. Give me the wind, give me the space and the wind. I would much rather deal with that than big bugs.
Yeah. I've spent way too long here. The bugs in other places are they're different than what we have. We don't have those types of things here.
Mhm.
We really don't.
I was in Texas and we were doing this little remodel real quick, and we lifted up a kitchen cabinet, and the one right underneath your sink, and there was probably 500 cockroaches came flying out from it, and it was like right at dusk where it's like, it's late in the day. I had headphones in. I was kind of isolated in my own world,
Yeah.
and it's just all these cockroaches went flying. I've never been so scared in my
Did you
I
let
went-
out like a girl scream?
Oh,
'Cause
100%. I
would've-
sprinted out the house screaming, like, and in the opposite direction. I'm
Yes.
like, I don't, what just happened? Like,
No. I don't know of anybody that wouldn't let out
Yeah.
a little bit of
Oh,
noise.
it was horrifying.
That
All
would
I
be my
can
worst
attribute
nightmare.
it to is because we don't get like large amounts of bugs except for moths.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just have those years where the
Mhm.
moths are like insane.
Or grasshoppers,
Grasshoppers.
would
Yep.
be the other one.
Moths and grasshoppers, and
Yes.
I hate both of them so bad.
Yeah.
I will scream at the fake room. I don't like.
You go running from the moths. Yeah.
I don't know why. I know they're like harmless. They gross me out.
Well, they're like papery, kind of
Yeah,
almost.
they're
They're a
like-
little weird.
Yeah, like flying dust mites.
Fucking dust. Yeah, gross.
Yeah. So interesting. I mean, we have black widow spiders, but even then, you can bring in a pest control and really kind of take care of them and not be dealing with them all the time, or the brown recluse spiders or whatever.
Yeah, and I've never ran anybody who has to regularly deal with them.
Right. I
It's
think if you
more
live
of
out
a
in the
like
country, maybe.
if it gets infested, if you
Yeah.
get them, then you get rid of them, and then they're
They're
gone.
gone.
They
Yes.
don't keep
Yeah.
coming back. And
Yes. I had a real estate transaction once where there was a nest of them in the crawl space, but the crawl space, there was access from the outside. And that's why it occurred. So the inspector was not going to crawl in there.
Thank God.
yeah.
He goes,
You're like, you're crazy.
yeah.
No.
I was standing outside and he's like, so there's a nest of, I think it was the black, I don't know if it was Black Widow or, yeah. And he goes, so I'm not climbing in there. He goes, but that you may want to have like somebody come out and take care of these. And so my client did. They had somebody come out and get rid of them. But yeah, he wasn't about to crawl in there with that little nest going on. That's
Yeah.
probably the main like real estate transaction I've had where that has occurred. So anyway, so mortgage lending.
Yeah. So it was really just something that, like I said, clicked for me and kind of was something entertaining to get out and do.
Sure.
And then as I've gotten further into it, it really kind of it's a whole different world than what I was expecting, I guess. I was expecting a little more salesy and then kind of back,
Sure.
and it's just going all the time. Like
Yeah.
it's
And
working
you're helping
a lot,
people.
and
yeah.
I mean, and that's the whole goal, is to get them what they need and not necessarily what they want
Sure.
from our angle of it.
What they're
because-
capable of and
yeah,
what's
what
going
they're
to feel
capable of.
realistic.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
that's the hard part, and especially where we are in Cheyenne right now with our prices and
Mm-hmm.
what people are making. It's hard for them to qualify a lot of times to
Yep.
to go purchase a $350,000 house for your first house.
Right.
That
Yeah.
it's
I know, I think
expensive.
about that all the time. I moved here in 2004, and I bought a house, and it was $74,000,
Wow.
a little townhouse, and I'm like, that was like fine. And now you're like, yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
a first time home buyer, house 300,000,
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah.
in the high twos if you can.
My first home was
Yeah.
145,000.
Yeah,
So, I mean, still,
yeah.
Yeah.
do you, did
No,
you
go
buy
ahead.
a home here?
Yep.
Yep,
we,
you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've owned a few here. Our first one we purchased over in Crown Estates, and it was one of those townhouses.
Oh, sure.
But we got that. I mean, it was at 215.
Right.
I mean,
I mean-
it's crazy, and then you look at them now. I
Yeah.
mean, it's awesome for
the
for
values.
Yes,
and-
if you were a
home.
homeowner.
Yes.
I mean, if you got in the right timing,
Yeah.
it's
And not
It's
that
blessed.
bad
beneficial,
now,
but-
Yeah.
it's just expensive.
yeah, and it's a higher entry.
Everything is expensive, though. I say, really,
Yeah.
the gas, the food.
Yep.
I mean, what
Everything.
isn't expensive?
And the only thing that hasn't matched it is what people are bringing home.
Yeah.
Especially around here, we're starting to see a lot of the construction workers come in. And so it's good for the ones that are here, but the rest of it's just kind of out of state money that's, it's coming in. They
Sure.
can spend some of it here, but they're
Mhm.
not buying here. They're
Right.
not purchasing those properties, which is kind of good. We don't want that, right? If they all
Right.
come here and
we want you to stay here if you're
Yeah,
going to buy here. Yeah.
exactly. And I think that's good. I see a lot of they're doing a ton of apartments and
Yeah.
those are
There's
going
got to
up
be places
everywhere.
for people to live at the end of
Yeah.
the day. Are they always affordable is the question. But you're right. There's a lot of apartment complexes going up. So, I was thinking when you walked in that um, interest rates went up when the Iran war began, right? Interest rates went up a little bit because we were kind of on a downhill trajectory for a little bit. Am I right or am I wrong?
I wouldn't necessarily say a downhill trajectory, just in the way of, because everybody was expecting it to go down. The expectation is down, and it's still kind of aimed in that direction, I think, for summertime. And then the war went the exact opposite direction for what we wanted.
Right.
And I, in my opinion, it's hard to even kind of figure out what's happening with it. In like, we're out of it, we're into it, we're out of it. I'm like,
right.
That's how I feel.
Okay, I don't know. Just let me know when it's over. Or,
yeah.
Let's watch the rates and see what
happens.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's a lot of that stuff that I really don't understand when it comes to like the oil and stuff and
the Strait of
the Strait of Hormuz.
Hormuz. I knew it was something along those lines.
And how shutting that down,
impacted
today
everybody.
Gets our gas prices today, but that gas is sitting there, for a couple weeks or and that's where the sale of fuel ends at the pump. The cost of oil ends at the pump. So it works a little differently, and I don't understand all of those things.
I don't either, and we don't have to dive deep into it. But I was thinking,
because even if someone explained it to me, I'd be like, okay.
Well, what I'm hoping, because when I was watching the news, I'm not sure if it was yesterday morning or this morning, like Donald Trump has said a few times that they've come to a deal, but it never really did. But I think everybody's feeling like it's different this time. Whatever occurred over the weekend or yesterday or whatever, there is finally resolution now. The Strait of Hormuz is open, and the war. I don't know that it's officially over, but things that everybody's anticipating that we're like going to start to move forward now. So I'm going to be curious to
see what changes.
Yeah, to see if it impacts mortgage rates and gas prices and things like that, or what's going to happen.
And really, it should. I mean, it opens back up. Our gas prices should come back down, and I think there's a big kind of transition happening in the market right now with the prices and where everything's at the current moment. We're going to see a big shift, and then rates will kind of come down later this summer.
Oh, good.
Is kind of what I see coming, but that's my crystal ball of, foggy crystal ball.
And you aren't the only one. I mean, we've had mortgage lenders in here that are like, just kind of like that. I mean, we have a crystal ball,
the
but
same thing. We have to price a house, and we have to base it on houses that sold previously. We can't predict the future, so we could say, as of today, this seems like a good price, but tomorrow
it could be different.
Could be terrible.
Yeah, and it comes to what somebody's willing to spend on it.
Willing to do.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, so it's a hard thing to guess, or we all hope it is.
Yeah,
but I still have a lot of the conversations of people that are like, I'm going to hold out until it's back to the twos, and I'm like, well, then you're never going to buy. Like you should just buy now, and I'll refinance you when you get to the twos. We'll get you locked in right away. But it's not something that is common, and that we'll probably never see again. If we do, it's because a bunch of bad stuff happened, just like why we saw it in the first place. It's a recovery, it's a rebound, but the average of the home interest rates is around 7% over the last 100 years. Is closer to 7-9%.
Right there.
Yeah, we're right there. We're right below that average where we're we're not sitting bad, but it just looks really bad to all the people who saw the 2% and 3%. Or had them.
Yeah. That's correct. Well, I actually was working with a client that had a better interest rate not doing an FHA or WCDA going through because with WCDA, their interest rate here a couple of months ago. And for anybody listening, and maybe you can explain this better than me, but when you get a WCDA loan, WCDA like purchases, for lack of a better way of saying it, like a pot of money, and then there's a kind of an assigned interest rate to that pot of money until they're done with it, and then it starts over again. Am I saying it kind of close? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think at the time it was like 5.875. Well, when this client first got approved, they had a better interest rate than that 5.8. But by the time we found the house, it made more sense to go with the WCDA loan because the rate there was better because that stayed steady. And whatever this war and the things that whatever the reasons were that the interest rates went back up, then it got changed, which is why it's so important to especially work with a local lender, somebody that you can physically see and talk to and have these conversations with, because when you very first go in and get an interest rate, it may be that, but by the time you purchase a home, it might be slightly different.
You were 100% on with that.
Yeah.
Really, we run into that quite a bit with people they want to shop at interest rate, right? What's the interest rate you could get me at today? And buying a house doesn't work the same as buying a car.
Right.
So but in the same respect, they're a little close in the way of you got to know what you're purchasing before I can give you your rates and your costs and your numbers. We have to know all of that stuff. So you need to know the property. So when we start shopping rates or getting pre-approved, those rates do drastically or can change. Depending on that property, if we're able to use USDA or FHA, or if you have the money for conventional. That's, like you said, it makes it the best for us to get the whole picture together. And then we decide together with the client how we're going to proceed, what you want to do with your money, what you want to, where you want everything to go, right?
Sure.
Because we have, in the broker world, we're direct to the third party. So I have 15 different lenders that I shop to immediately. And then I have other ones that we can kind of go to for specific needs, or if something doesn't fit into any of these other lenders' boxes. Right. So it's the more information I have, the more pieces to the puzzle, the better I can kind of guide our clients and get them to a better deal or a better rate, rather than saying, hey, here's this blanket FHA rate of 6.25.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, you kind of just get a range, and then once you find a house,
then you lock it in, or you sort out which product you're going to go with, and
and by the time we make the offer, we have everything dialed in pretty well.
That's nice. Yeah, that's good. Just because we haven't talked about this in a minute, would you share the benefits of going with a broker versus like a what's the word?
I used to like a bank lender.
A bank lender.
Yep.
Thank you for.
Yeah, really, it's our options. It's the bank has their business model is they want to have your money. They want you to come in there and deposit your check every week and do that. They also do loans in some ways, but a lot of them they keep their boxes really small and narrow. You need to have this credit score. You need to have this DTI. You need to have these specific things. On the third party market, they open up those a little bit more.
Sure.
So we have a few more options. We can do bank statement loans. We can do DSCR loans, which are like investment loans, so that people can, as long as we can prove that that the property is going to cash flow, then they can be qualified based off of that, as long as they have their down payment.
Sure.
So it gives us a lot more options than
more creative.
Yeah.
A little more creative financing.
Yeah, because everyone doesn't just work a 9-to-5 job with a W-2 and.
No, a lot of people don't.
No debt.
So then you're like, that's like this perfect picture of someone, but then there's everyone else.
Yeah, in the perfect box, it's those people fit in, but a lot of people don't fit into those boxes. I mean, I've had clients that I had a 60-some-year-old lady who has had zero credit. She's never had any credit. She's lived her whole life paying cash for everything. So I was able to build her credit based off of what she pays each month and show that she has credit so that she was qualified to purchase the house. Like, and it's a weird way that they let you show that they have some responsibility.
Right. It's sort of like if you paid rent, showing that you paid your rent on time, or your utilities on time, or your internet or things like that.
Yep. Yeah, and we can utilize that to show that, hey, we're paying this monthly. It's paid on time. There's no late payments. And you can utilize that stuff. But in the same respect, one late payment throws the whole year off. So, if it's Well, yeah, but that month, I didn't have my debit card got changed over, so all my stuff, got declined, and then that needs to be explained, or
Yeah. Yeah.
it makes it tougher. But that kind of gives us the opportunity to help those people out and find those people what they're looking for.
Got it. Is there any specific, so you're with Legacy Lending Group?
Yep.
Is there any specialty or specific thing you'd like to share about what makes your brokerage, why someone comes and works with you?
They come to work with us for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
We have our main offices up in Gillette, and
Mm-hmm.
we've got 2 LOs along with our broker owner up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm branching out and starting the Cheyenne one. And really, it's just our attention to the customers and their satisfaction is really what we're aimed towards. Because in the mortgage world, you're going to refinance. People are going to do those things. You're going to buy several houses in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do one mortgage for them. I want to do their mortgage and their refinance and their next mortgage and their kids' mortgage and so on. So I want to give them somewhere to go to come to that they feel trusted.
And I do think that's especially important to have somebody local to talk to if you've got something going on instead of, on a national level, for example. You need to be able to have that person, their business card in your wallet that's like, this is who I call when I need something, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel the same way when we help people with insurance for the mortgages.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way with insurance. I'm like, I want to have an insurance agent that you can walk into their office and say, my roof hasn't been fixed. Can you help me? And
Yeah.
they
It was a
don't want to
windstorm
have
recently.
that.
I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, and they don't like that, but you have somebody that you can walk into and
Mm-hmm.
talk to. You could come see me, you could go see them. It's that same kind of and call for the questions, right? Mortgages is a whole lot of questions, and people a lot of people get scared to ask a question because you're going to get looped into the sales thing, right? You're going to get like, oh, now I have to give them all my stuff, and I just wanted to answer this one question.
Right.
But it's the relationship that you have with them, right? That
Mm-hmm.
if I don't know you and you call me and ask me one question, I don't have an answer, but I'm going to need some information from you to be able to answer it. But if we know each other and I have your information, I can answer pretty quickly and tell you what we should do, and kind of help guide them with what they can afford.
I can't even get on this soapbox.
Well, do it.
Because I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a podcast.
I say this all the time. Like, you need to have a relationship with someone. When someone calls and it's literally a stranger, I don't know you, I've never talked to you before, and you want me to like drop everything and help you right now, which happens in this world in real estate, because they're like, I found a house. Lender, I need to get pre-qualified. Okay, well, you're behind, right?
Yep.
You should have done all this stuff before. The same thing happens with us real estate agents, and I struggle because I have plenty of people that I'm helping and I'm very busy. And so then you have someone who's literally a stranger. I just had it this weekend. He was very, very not happy that I would not just like
drop everything for
do
him.
it. I'm like, I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're pre-qualified. I've never talked to you before. I don't know if you want to work with me. I don't know if I want to work with you. Like, I feel like people don't start from the beginning. They just somehow like pop into the middle, or, you know what I mean? Like what they're supposed to be doing. You have to do things in a certain order.
Yeah.
And that is if you're going to buy a house and you're being like, okay, I'm going to start looking at houses, then you should take the proper steps, because then you're asking people to do things.
Yeah.
And then you're upset when somebody's like, I need more information from you. That's how this is. I don't,
Yeah.
you can't just tell me your first name.
Right.
And
It's
then
Saturday
I'm
at 5
gonna-
o'clock.
Yeah. And I'm just going to do this.
Yep.
But if any other person who's working with me calls and needs something at any time,
You're
like,
on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will arrange my schedule. I will figure it out for you. But I think that we live in this world where it's like now that you want something. And I think a lot of people are expecting, like, we have a profession and you're just acting like this is like the drive-through at McDonald's. And you can just be like, can I get this right now?
Well, and
like, who are you?
I've seen it kind of from where I've been slower. So I'll follow up with them, or, I'm like, yeah, anything. And then usually those are the people that kind of just drop off and ghost you back.
Right.
That,
And also
they're
our
the
time
first
is
ones.
valuable.
Yeah.
So then people I don't know if they're like not realizing that. I'm like, and it is hard if you're not in a profession like ours.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for some people to understand, like, why can't I just call you and ask you to do this? Like, I don't make any money. I'm doing it for free until I know you. You know what I mean? And so I could be doing it for free just to be nice.
Just to be nice and help you out.
And that's fine, but like, I have to make a living, so I can't just be doing that for strangers.
Exactly.
I do think there's an element to add on to what you're saying of that, this dehumanizing that's going on, right? Like, if I disagree with you, then I'm gonna dehumanize you. I'm gonna make you out to be this evil person because we disagree. Or if you're not, it's almost like, because it's from a computer screen, there's no longer any humanity to it. And so if you are reaching out to somebody on your little computer screen that is your phone, or on a computer, that it's almost like there's a disconnect.
It is, or maybe it is. It's like, I need to see this property at this time today. Okay, who is this? You know what I mean? You're like, this is a person.
We still want to be people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're people with kids and families and things going on. And I would love to work with you and talk to you about it, but let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The 100%. I mean, I like to have, like you said, the schedule should be, you get pre-qualified, then you go out shopping with the realtors.
Because you know what you want, you know your budget.
Yep.
You don't get your expectations too high. If you just go look at a house and then you can't afford it, it really stinks to have to go down price range wise and then look at something that's lesser. So if you just know in the beginning, then it's like when you go shop for a car. I mean, do people just go and just drive every kind of car, the $100,000 car, all the way to or do you like think I need a payment of this, or
do a little research ahead of time?
And this is what I can afford. You don't just go waste. I mean, maybe you do, but you should probably not go waste the car dealer's time when driving the $100,000 car if you can't buy it.
Well, and do they let you drive the $100,000 car, or do they run your credit first? Like, can you afford this?
Again, yes, because they want you to know
They don't want you to waste their time, right? Yeah.
The other thing I tell people about having the pre-qual letter is just, it is so empowering. When you're looking at homes, if you're walking into a home thinking, I don't even know if I can afford this, there's a level of insecurity that comes with that can actually sort of influence the entire transaction. Whereas if you know your price range, you know what you're comfortable with, you already have a lender that you're working with. Then you've got a realistic view looking into those homes and going, I can do this. I can purchase this home if I want to purchase this home. And it's not as stressful. And for real estate transactions are stressful. So whatever step you can take, such as finding a local lender like you, Chris, getting the pre-qualification letter, having a support team is really what you're doing. And then moving forward in a way that you're going to be comfortable with. And the ones that don't have that done first, and you look at a home, there's like an automatic stress associated with it. And I just want to alleviate that for them, because you're going to feel a lot better about your decision if you know what you're capable of.
Oh yeah, that's my least favorite call to get is, I just saw this house and I want to make an offer tonight. And I'm like, okay, I've been asking you for like 4 days to upload all this documentation.
And
like,
now you're
now get it all in. Like, well, do I have to? We were going to go do dinner. I'm like, well, if you want the letter, we want to make the offer. I got to have the information. We got to be able to prove that you are who you say you are. You do get what you say you have,
Yeah.
And that's the realistic part of it, right? If you can do that beforehand, that pre-qual letter is an amazing amount of confidence that they get to go shopping with. And like you said, it gives them the confidence in knowing that. I like to kind of give them a range, right? Because everybody's like, I want to buy the $500,000 house. It's like, okay, well, what do you want your payment to be?
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Do you want to live your life?
Yeah, it's like $1,500. And it's like, well, those two things don't match. So
Most over. Have a lot of money.
So let's figure out where we're at and see what we can do.
Now, the other thing too, and I like to point this out to everybody, because I think sometimes people go with a national lender so they don't have to talk to anyone. Like, they can just upload their information, get the pre-approval, and they don't. And I say this all the time, that I think money is a vulnerable thing, right? Like, you're very vulnerable when it comes to your money. And if you
think, I don't want people to know
that I've made mistakes
or know your business.
Yep.
first. Well, I don't know anybody's business.
Right. I don't
Do
even
you?
know.
Yeah.
No.
I
No,
never
but your
did, so the
lender,
lender does.
but the
So it's
lender
But
better
yeah.
does.
for you because they
Yes.
do have to be vulnerable with you. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. They don't have to talk. There's plenty of times where you can email, you can.
I mean,
Yeah.
you might want to have an initial conversation, but I'm assuming that Legacy Lending Group, you have an online portal where people can go in and put in their information. So it's not just national lenders that have that ability to upload your information and work through a pre-approval process. Local lenders too, including Legacy Lending Group, where you can upload your information and you can talk over the phone with you,
Yep.
Chris, and I'm assuming maybe even get. There's a lot of texting that goes on in our field, so I'm assuming there's a bit of that too.
Yes, there is.
and then you get going in the process, and I really, going with somebody local just can't be beat. Because then the other thing too,
No, they just know the area. There's so many times where we have like out of state lenders
that want to do like a
and they wanna
termite.
do all these extra
Yes.
things, and then we're trying to explain to them that's not a thing.
You don't need
here.
to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Well, and the big national lenders they serve a purpose. I don't necessarily,
Sure.
they do their thing, but it's all in numbers, and they're the people who are running the back end of it are those same people, right? It's how many people can we have in this space, and how many can you get done in a day, and it's all a numbers game when they get to that level.
Yep.
So there's not a whole lot of the customer service,
Right.
and the helping. I mean, more of this job than I anticipated, and I was already kind of doing it as a project manager, is like kind of being a counselor.
Yes.
And just kind of talking through people's options and letting them get to where they wanted to get to in the first place,
Yep.
kind of playing that middle ground on offers and, being a backboard and a part of their team to help them, not feel by themselves in the stress of, well, we're buying this house and my realtor said I should do this. What do you think? And it's like, well, that's, what do you think? What do you think?
Well, and two, like, if you're a local lender, then also you working probably with local insurance agents, and there's like little things, like I tell everybody, for example, just about every contract here in Laramie County has a roof clause associated with it. Well, if you're working with a national lender, there may be, let's say a contract comes through that does not have the roof clause on it. Someone like you, Chris, you may flag that and go, was there supposed to be a roof clause in this? And you're asking your client, you're asking the realtor, did that, did you guys decide not to? It doesn't have to be in there, but because it's so prevalent here,
most people want the roof
sure,
Yeah.
when they get in,
they want it. But a few may want to do it on their own if they're.
But a national lender maybe wouldn't flag on that, right?
No.
They wouldn't necessarily, but you're going to, because you know that everybody around here has a roof
we
clause
have
in their
this
contract.
weather that we have here.
Yes.
And it's important.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is important to
And
make
the last
sure.
thing I want is somebody coming back saying, why did you not make sure I had this?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
well, you said we were good and we weren't. Like,
I had a deal last year that did have a national lender on it, and the way that our contracts are set up, when you submit a counter offer and you just kind of hit the check mark and then you've got the counter sort of attached to it.
Right.
Well, they didn't like that, and they wanted like some type of additional like verbiage right on the contract that said this, we're submitting a counter offer. And I'm like, well, it says submit counter offer with a check mark, but it felt for them that, I went back and forth with them for a couple of days about it. I'm like, this is a Wyoming form. I'm not changing this piece of it. Like, it's very clear, but it was a problem, and it took up a couple of days of time. So,
and that's really what your local lender does, right?
right.
And the lender would normally be doing that job because that's an underwriter question that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
When you don't have a local lender that can call you and say, hey, what's going on with this? Okay, I took care of it. We're done.
But you're in Wyoming. You're familiar with Wyoming forms.
Well, you don't even need to. And so it's a lot of those things. You don't have to make those calls. You don't have to ask those questions. When we do, it's a quick question and then it's a quick solve, or I spend 4 hours on the phone with them going, okay, this is not right, and we get it ironed out that way.
And that, I guess I hadn't, as we've talked about this before, Lindy, I haven't really thought about, like, when you're going with national lenders, they have to be familiar with all the various states, and not that you're not familiar with potentially surrounding states or more states, but if you're working with a lender that maybe is trying to look at contracts from all different kinds of states, how do you manage all of that? Whereas here in Wyoming,
primarily they got this contract down.
Yeah, they got it down. They're familiar with it. I mean, I know there's lenders that do like Nebraska and Colorado and that kind of thing, but still, it's all very local.
Well, see, so we're licensed in 5 states.
Okay.
As Legacy. Our main obviously is Wyoming. We have an office in Arizona, but and then we have another LO out there, and then other than that, it's just our LOs that are licensed in states that they're from.
Oh, sure.
Because it takes, for us, each state is an additional fee and hours, exam hours, and then you have to redo it each year. So if you want to carry 5 or 7 states, you can, but you're paying for every single one of those states.
Right.
And so I see a lot of LOs that carry several of them and maybe do one loan in them every couple years, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
No.
But there's different ways to handle your business, right? And a lot of them, I've met a lot of LOs that they sit in their office at home and they just sell loans on the internet. I mean, it's just all internet work. They don't go out. They're not worried about staying local to their area. It's just, if I know anybody in that state, I'm going to try to reach out to people and get business that way. And I don't know how it works, but some of them make a pretty good living at it.
And I'm sure, I'm certain that there's circumstances, and I mean, it must be a viable business because it's out there, right? Like, it's happening. But we are Wyoming, and we're just very small town. I mean, everybody
people want to see you.
They do. We want to see each other.
Yeah.
Well, it's always like when you get people who try to contact you to sell you leads.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be like, I have leads in Wyoming. I'm like, no, you don't.
No,
No way. You're in California. There's no way. You got a bunch of Wyoming people in your Rolodex? I don't think so. Pass.
Now, do we maybe have people from California coming here?
Yeah,
yes.
that's probably
more likely.
That's probably more likely. But yeah, you're like, no, you probably don't know a bunch of people in Wyoming.
No, they really don't.
And in Wyoming, we're still, like you said, very community focused and like knowing our people in our town. And I think
I mean, I got a call from a guy moving from Colorado, and we were chatting, and he was just about to upload all of his documents, and he called me back and he goes, I just thought how do I know you're real? And I was like, I have no idea how to answer that question. I was like, I'm a real person, we're a real business, but I've never had that question. Like,
good for him though for asking.
And I said that, I was like, that's really good. I was like, go to our website, go look at this. You can Google map our office in Gillette, because I don't have a storefront here in Cheyenne yet. And just kind of show that. I said, and my Facebook is active. You'll see me, and it all matches. And I was like, that would be the best I have for you. But I was like, I don't really know. I said, I should really have an answer to that question of like, are you real? Like, yeah, I'm real. But how do you prove that to somebody in this day and age? And
it's a great point. Yes.
Yeah, I kind of went in the wormhole a little bit of like, how do you do it? Minus a video.
Did he figure it out?
Gosh. And there's you should say there's real no. You can come here and see my face, because honestly, you can fake everything now. They send you driver's license. Send me your driver's license, and they have a driver's license with their face on. I mean, you don't know what's real. I would. That's a really good question. I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I could be pretending to be me.
Yeah.
Like I could be someone else.
And that's how I started. I was like, I don't even know how to answer that, but go check out our website and stuff. It's still all online, but that was kind of the best I had for them. And we continued, and we've talked, and we've got them set up to close next month. But
good.
It was definitely just a different question that I'd never gotten before.
I really love that he did do that, because like I think back to this. I had this woman call me. She was legit. I figured it out. She was legit, but I didn't. But she had called me because like I had a bill at the hospital or something, and she's like, I need you to pay this bill. And I'm like, but you called me, and I didn't even remember that I owed a bill. So, and it was, I have no idea where it came from.
That was like 19 months before.
That's what they do.
That's right. And I'm like, I would love to. I said, I can pay you. I said, but how do I know that you're the hospital? And she goes, you know what? She goes, I get that all the time. She goes, so I tell you what, she goes, just get on the hospital website and call us. and pay it. And I'm like, okay, so that's what I did. I hung up with her and I didn't get her. I got somebody else, but I called and paid the bill. But when she called me, I went to pay her and I did that exact same thing. I was like, how do I know? I was driving in my car. I'm like, how do I know that you're real? I said, I'm so sorry. I said, but I can't. She goes, no. She goes, I get it. She goes, it happens to us all the time. Just hang up and call the hospital back and pay it. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
It's the only way to do it. Yeah. I think when you're the one making the call spontaneously, it's a little, yes.
You called my number.
Yeah.
The internet, and then now our names pop up most of the times on the phone. So
yeah. I definitely think that it's just like when we talk about wire transfers, like we don't communicate. I mean, I don't share or forward information about wire transfers because it just scares. We just don't do that in our office. But I can say to my client,
you can call
the title company and wire it. But if you get a request,
call
you. But even then, I want my client
if they're really
to be the one in charge.
Someone's listening to our phone call.
Yes. So I every single time I'm like, you call the title company and ask for this person.
Yeah, because my luck would be we're expecting a call and somebody else calls and
right.
Scammer.
Yeah. They're so.
We don't need that. So. No. Anyway, okay, so how can people find you then? Since you don't have a brick and mortar, how do they find you?
Right now we're online, legacylg.com.
Okay.
Legacylendinggroup.com.
Do we know someone else in Legacy Lending Group?
Well, his mom is a lender, Laura Edwards, up in Gillette.
Okay, that's what you wrote me.
Yes, I was like, because I think I texted you like I don't understand what's happening.
And she's kind of been all over the place up there. So Legacy, she just started about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And it was just at her shop. She'd kind of done the broker under other brokers.
Okay.
Kind of trying to get to her own office and then just kind of kept getting reeled into deals that she didn't like.
Sure.
So she went and got her broker's license and then just opened the shop fully on her own.
Gotcha.
So, and then that's kind of where I got brought in, where it was like, well, do you think you'd be interested in this? And it was like, yeah, cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the website again.
So legacylendinggroup.com.
Okay. And then a phone number to reach you.
Yeah. 307-477-4277.
Perfect. Awesome. And do you have any other questions?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me on today.
Is there anything we haven't covered that you would like to cover?
No, we've kind of hit on everything.
And
then some.
And then some. We did.
We were all over it.
We're like, kind of the point sometimes though is just for people to just like get to know you.
Yeah.
Get to know us and get to know what we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And we
talk about
fun. Real estate and lending.
Yeah. Yeah, and throw in a few other fun stuff. And
Yes, we definitely do that. Okay, so a final question. Lindy and I each ask our clients a question. So mine is, what is a leadership trait that you think is the most important for a person to have, and or what is the leadership trait that you aspire to have?
So I would say that calm in the storm is kind of what I try to portray and what I try to have. There a lot of things go sideways, and it's being able to stay calm in those moments because you generally get through them. It's the emotion that kind of throws everybody off and makes everything a lot worse. So that's really my biggest leadership quality, is just kind of staying level-headed through the chaos.
That is a great answer.
That is a good one.
That's a really good one.
Really good. Okay, well, since we're real estate agents, I try to ask a semi-real estate question. At this stage in your life, what does home mean to you?
Ooh, that was a good question. Really just anywhere with my wife and kids. Just as long as the kids are screaming in the background, as stressful as it can be, it's a calming presence when they're not home. It's very strange.
Doesn't feel like
it doesn't feel the same.
Like complete or like calm, like you said. Yeah, I agree.
No, that's a great answer.
Hate that now they're like older, so I'm always like, I just want everyone in the house under the roof right now.
Yeah, it is nice because then you can sleep better.
And then you're like, oh, okay, everything's
everyone's safe. Yeah,
everyone's safe.
So we enjoy that right now.
Wonderful. Yep, I would agree. That's a really good answer. Awesome. Well, for all of our listeners, as you know, Lindy and I are realtors here at Peak Properties. So if you're looking to buy or sell, we'd love to help you with that. You can find us at sellcheyenne.com. And of course, Beyond the Front Door podcast on YouTube, as well as all your favorite podcast platforms. And make sure to hit that subscribe button so that we know that you're there. And we hope you have a really great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Chris.
Yeah.